For a TvZ, it's gonna be good.
Oh, for sure. Alrighty, so playing for probably the most or team with the most notoriety, it's Cure from Jin Air Greenwings, the Terran.
Notoriety indeed. And in the bottom right-hand corner, the blue Zerg player, it is Solar.
Yeah, Solar also on Infinity Gaming, new team, and they're very supportive of him and awesome. They picked him up. They saw that he was winning all these Afreeca Worlds, and they're like, we want this guy. And now he's still trying to keep winning Afreeca Worlds. We'll see if he's going to be able to do it this time. It's going to be tough. Possibly his toughest opponent yet, dare I say, with Cure.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Cure is a bit more of a roadblock than some of the other guys he's come up against in the history of the tournament, but doesn't mean he can't do it. Just means it's a greater challenge, which means he'll play better, which means we get better StarCraft. So everybody
oh, yeah,
wins.
exactly. And I mean, Solar is such a good player too. Like he's just been looking good. I mean, he almost made it to the BlizzCon finals, and I mean, like he had some times in which he wasn't maybe looking too hot, but then getting towards BlizzCon and Super Tournament, he really turned it on. So while he didn't make it to BlizzCon, he's still in very good form. So we'll see what Kira is going to be able to do against him.
Yeah, he's definitely, I'd say, top 5 players who didn't qualify for BlizzCon this year. So,
oh yeah, I'd say him and Trap probably the two most. Like as far as good form goes, him and Trap, the two guys that didn't quite qualify for BlizzCon.
yeah, I can see that for sure. No arguments. So both players playing fairly standard here. No proxies out of Cure. Solar's just going for the standard hatch gas pool. Third hatch timing here looks like it's about now. This is fairly early. I mean, generally, Zergs do want to get this out somewhere between 2 and 3 minutes, maybe a little bit after 3. But look at him just going for the third base at a sub 2-minute mark, and bam,
yeah,
there it goes. Beautiful.
Yeah, a few Zergs have been going for it very quick these days. They just say, because I mean, for a while it would be like, oh, you got to get the queens out and whatnot in order to be safe. But it is a bit of a gamble, I guess, in case it was something like a proxy 3 racks or something, delaying the queens a little bit and whatnot. But Solar's confident that that is not the case.
Yeah, so he's going to defend this Reaper with no queen, but 4 Zerglings that come out just in the nick of time to save those drones from a fate that is death.
He's got it all timed out just perfectly. May lose a or may lose a Ling or two. We'll see.
Drone tanking a couple shots there too. Look at him moving these wounded Zerglings back.
Loses a drone though. That's very nice. The Reaper micro of Cure is nothing to scoff at. So, I mean, if you're a Terran and you pick off a drone like that, that's very nice.
It is, but at the same time, the third base is going to be done in like 10 seconds. So that hurts as a Terran player.
True. It does, seeing that. But this is pretty standard these days in TvZ. I mean, maybe not as quick, but Zergs really have been cutting the initial queens in order to get the faster base.
And he loses the Reaper, too.
Yeah, that was a bit of a blunder. Now, yeah, Kira's going to be in the dark. He's getting out Hellions, so he will still have map control, but, I mean, no Reaper to try and snipe off creep tumors or scout out or anything like that, so... I mean, I'd say that's pretty good for Solar. Reaper for a drone, that's sort of what you can expect as a trade.
Absolutely. So Hellions moving out here. A couple more queens in production.
Oh.
Might see a couple more Zerglings.
Look at what Kira's throwing down. He's got 2 extra barracks done already and Stim on the way. This is going to be like, is this going to be like a Hellbat timing with a large chunk of bio?
Ooh, Hellbat Marine timing would be pretty scary here. You would need Banelings in that situation. I'm not sure that Solar's in a position to scout this either.
Yeah,
he does have that high ground, that little perch, which I really think Cure wants to kill this Overlord. How does he get it, though? He has to float a building over it or use a scan, which he doesn't want to do.
No, yeah, I think he's just making sure that it doesn't come in at all, and the Hellions are being placed very carefully. Oh, look, Overlord, no, he ain't getting out of there. You know what I think it should be for Terran? Is that if you call down a mule as it's falling, it should give you high ground vision. It's only fair.
Seems, yeah, I'm on board. Seems entirely fair. Good call.
Look at that mule drop in there. That should let him see the Overlord for half a second.
Yeah, you get a couple shots off. No big deal.
Alrighty, but it is going to be a starport, so this is just a classic like 2 base, 3 racks coming out of Cure. I mean, he's not really poked it with the Hellions. He's just denying all scouting, and I imagine we'll see an armory soon because he's still making Hellions, and if Solar's not prepared for this, this could be scary. And I mean, I'm a huge fan of builds like this just because they hit so strong and so precise, and it gives Terran like amazing tools because Stim is an amazing tool for a Terran player. And when you have Medivacs and Stim and Hellbats earlier on, it's just amazing. Now,
Yeah, this is going to be real scary. So there's some blind spore crawlers coming up for Solar. He has not made a Baneling Nest. Ooh, just now starting the Baneling
Ling
Nest.
maybe going to get in as well. Oh, good wall
Oh!
block there. But Solar did
Denied.
actually see an extra Hellion pop out with the Overlord, which is significant. It says, why are you making an extra Hellion? So alarm bells may be ringing. He's getting up a Spine, but versus Stimmed Marines and Hellbats, not the best. So we'll see. I mean, Cure's army is scary as hell now. I mean, look at all these Queens that are in position, but Cure's just going to dive on top of this. There's no Banelings yet. A Queen may be falling here. Good transfuse from Solar. One dies to save another. But a high-energy Queen is going to be getting focused down. Hellions aren't even turning into Hellbats, as there never was an armory, I believe. Or there actually was, but he's just not bothering. And I think he's actually just going to have won the game here. Cure just moving forward with such a precise build. Solar wasn't prepared for this. He didn't scout it, and now he's going to pay the price. GG. Cure takes it 1-0 versus the current Afreeca World Champion.
Quick 1-0 there from Cure. Woo! Scary indeed from the Terran player. And yeah, just complete lack of scouting there. Some blind spore crawlers, which he didn't end up needing at all. A late Baneling Nest really killed him at that position. And you just can't play blind. You cannot play blind in StarCraft for that long and expect to come out of it with a win. So well done by Cure. I have to imagine that Solar's going to do a better job scouting in game number 2.
Yeah, he may be a little bit more careful in the next game, but I mean, getting 1-0 versus... I mean, Solar's definitely not out of it just yet. I mean, you don't win 5 tournaments in a row by... And you can drop a map every now and then, but before this tournament, by the way, Solar's overall map score was 36-6.
Ugh.
Which is just ridiculously good. No matter who you're playing against, that's consistency.
Yeah, that's incredibly hard to believe. But yeah, if that's the number. That's the number. And yeah, Cure's just like, you know what? I have this build. Let's do it. Bam.
And it worked. And I mean, yeah, that's a nice build there. Just
Terran players, put that one in your pocket.
I'd like to try something like that, but then since, you know, my level on ladder, the Zerg would be Baneling busting me and hard counter me anyway. And
those early Hellions, though, if you micro them correctly, Baneling
that's true.
Fairly well.
It was a very safe build against Baneling busts. I mean, if Solar had been going blind roaches, like playing that defensive roach style, maybe, but yeah, still, I mean, that was just a nice timing for Cure versus Solar.
Man, those spore crawlers went down, and that's a bad sign. That was a really bad sign for Solar. So
yeah.
Good job. Good game. Let's get game 2 up in here.
Yeah, the Queen's being caught out a little bit too. I guess they were fairly far out. We're just waiting on Nice to join the lobby.
Yeah, they were far forward, but I don't know what they do if they're back protecting the natural anyway. I mean, they're still just getting burned down by those Marines.
Yeah, I mean, the Baneling Nest wasn't even done by the time Queen started dying, so... yeah, that was just no good. Okay, there we go. Everyone is ready. We're going to load on into it.
All right, let's do this thing. Game starting. Hype!
Thanks to everyone for tuning on into this Afreeca World.
Yeah, happy to have an audience here for sure. 282 viewers. Got a lot of Korean in chat. Got some English in chat. Yeah, welcome to Kazi SC. Finally managed to get this working, he said, by just refreshing the page 50 times.
Huh, that's all it takes.
Troubleshooting step. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. But if you guys do have issues with the stream or anything, let us know and we'll certainly pass them on. But this guy may have issues spawning up the top right-hand side of the map. He's currently down 0-1. Infinity Gaming Solar.
And spawning way down in the bottom left is the purple Terran player from Jin Air Green Wings. His name is Q.
Alrighty. So, I mean, we'll see. Blue Shift, it's, who would you say that this map, like, benefits? What race is good on Blue Shift?
I honestly don't know. I'm trying to think about games that I've cast on this one, and if it really seems to favor any of the races, especially Zerg versus Terran, since that's what we're looking at here. And like I said, I just kind of feel like it's fairly standard. I mean, you have that little siege tank perch like all the maps do to defend with. You have the little overlord perch for overlords to scout with. There's really not an easy way to siege up at the third base either, but yeah, I guess I don't know. Yeah.
I'd say defensively it's pretty good versus Terran. And I mean, because I mean, the third and the fourth base are pretty easy to lock down, but then it also comes down to how do you push as a Terran versus an established Zerg. So I feel as if timings and stuff are probably pretty good for Terran on this map, and then maybe transitioning. But if a Zerg does reach their happy place, they're going to be pretty happy because it's like there's 3 lanes for Terran to push down, and that's it. Creep spread will hit your door in a second, pretty much. But,
Correct. That said, the attack paths into these third base locations are pretty narrow.
That's very true.
It can be easy to set up a siege in there, and Zerg has a real hard time surrounding that.
That is very true, and we'll see if Kier's going to go for something like that. Now, I mean, I'd be surprised if we saw the same build twice. That build that Kier brought out was sort of like a one-time dealio, because, I mean, Solar, if he sort of sees the Hellions staying back like he did in the last game, he'll be like, oh, you're going for this again, probably, and play a little bit safer, but...
Exactly. Overlord poking in to see what's going on.
Now, I guess, did Solar go pool first this game? Because Lings are already out. He must have gone pool first, right?
Yeah, he's already got speed researching, and the natural's not done yet, so yep.
Okay. Yeah, I guess it was just sort of the safer build.
And no quick third this time. We're 2.5 minutes in. No third base from Solar at all. Yeah, he's just preparing for another crazy build out of Cure, and Cure has just shown no real interest in doing that. He's already got, well, his natural base is complete here. He's got a starport coming up and a couple Hellions, but nothing indicates this is going to be another crazy all-in push.
Yeah, I wonder if this will be maybe like a Hellion drop or something. I mean,
ooh, that'd be fun.
There's a tech lab starting on the barracks, so that's either got to be for Stim or like a Banshee. Makes me want to say a Banshee just from how Terrans are playing these days, but we'll see if Kier goes to prove me wrong. I mean, he did go for a very early Stim in the last game, so who knows?
He did, and it was so useful. Oh
yeah. Okay, I'm thinking Banshee though. He's got a good amount of gas.
Like yeah. Yep. Swapping on over. There's the tech lab. Let's see if we get. Production tab says cloak. Yep, there we go.
Alrighty, look at that.
And the Banshee follow-up. Third base now coming up for Solar. About 50% complete at the 3.5-minute mark.
Oh, look at this link for Solar. It's actually going to get up the ramp here.
Oh, free scout.
And in the base.
Oh, Kier, what happened?
Okay, I mean, Kier, busy sending in these Hellions, but imagine if that was like 6 Zerglings. Then it's pretty bad for Kier, but now he's actually going to maybe try and dive on in, but Solar is ready for this. Reaper will go down. Hellion's getting shown the door. Good defense by Solar. This is the guy we wanted to see, always getting in with his scouting Ling. I mean, the Overlord shows in but says, hey, the Ling already did my job.
I guess I can double check and see if maybe that Banshee got canceled. But no, actually, Banshee comes out in full view over the Overlord. Cloak is still being researched.
Wow.
This Solar knows everything that's coming. This is such an incredible change from game number 1.
Yeah, exactly. Like, Solar never tried to go for, like, a Ling in, and I mean... Maybe that was because of the early pool. That I mean, he would have had speed normally there, but
yeah,
who
for
knows?
Sure. He would have had the same defense. He'd be better economically if he'd gone for the quick hatch and just gotten the same scout. I don't know. It's hard to say. Pushing up towards that third base here, we do have the Hellions running on over.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, so far Solar is just happily droning up. I mean, he knows what's really going to be coming his way, so he should be confident.
Yeah, stabbing away, keeping those Hellions on out. I'm not sure that 2 Queens is really enough to keep base, but they're keeping him at base so far.
Yeah, I mean, he's got the feelings. He's also got the Roach Warren, but Solar, I mean, he scouted it out. He's very confident nothing's coming his way, and now Kier, he's investing into a 3rd CC, getting up more barracks, getting up reactors and whatnot. So Kier is just going to have to wait and push at a later date here.
Yeah, works for me thus far. I really hate roaches against Terran. Can I tell you how much I hate roaches against Terran?
I think you've made this point once or twice, and I partially agree, but then there's other times in which roaches just seem to do incredibly well, but we'll see. I mean, the fact that Kier's already made a tank... Oh, gets in. 2 drones, nicely. Nicely done.
Yeah, well, there's... main base of Solar's under attack here as well.
2 Banshees, 2 more drones.
Poking on in.
That's just the sign of a good player there, being able to get in with 2 Banshees, pick off 2 drones, and get out 2 Hellions as well, so...
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, Solar's very solid, so I mean, that's all that Kier could have gotten there, but still, nice getting just that little bit of damage done for Kier, and... I mean, these defensive roaches are on the way, so I don't know how you feel about that.
Yeah, I mean, okay, so defensive roaches, I'm okay with that. But when you start moving across the map with them, just their usability and their effectiveness just really goes through, like falls through the floor. Banshee's back in the main base, still trying to kill more of those drones. Queen stabbing away, Spore Crawler trying to do what it can. Banshee with 2 kills and 1 kill for her friend there.
Okay. So yeah, I mean, as far as things go, there's the bitter harassment from Cure, but this is still a fairly standard game. Cleaning up creep with the Banshees is something I like to see. Oh,
yeah, I mean, might as well get...
Oh, he didn't.
Oh, okay. All right. Fair enough. Queen's coming up. Banshee's decided it's time to get on out. But yeah, this is dedication to Roaches and Ravagers. A Drop Lord coming in. Where is this Drop Lord morphing in?
Just in the main base. I mean, 2 Dropper Lords.
Okay. All right.
Pneumatized Carapace is a fair ways out, though.
Yeah, that's... Well, it's actually a pretty fast upgrade, too. What do we got?
I guess
Another
so, yeah.
20 seconds on that. No big deal.
I mean, the Dropper Lord gets scanned. Cure moving in. I mean, this is where defensive roaches are good.
Yes,
shutting back
absolutely.
that bio.
And those numbers, they're fine. But once the Terran starts getting into the mid-game, the upgrades start scaling, roaches just melt.
Yeah, now 1-1 will be finishing up for both players.
Yeah, it's 156 to 120 supply. Solar is up economically. His armor supply is starting to get through the roof as well. +1/+1 will be done. And he's going to try to get on in here and get something done. Although, 4th base going to get denied by that Banshee.
The Queens. Okay, so the Overlord's bringing the Queens because there was the Banshees. But Kira's got 2 bunkers here, and he's got Stim. Both these guys have 1-1, but this is still a lot of Zerg. We'll see. Kira getting the bio ahead of the army. SCV's already pulled is very important to buy time for the tank shots. SCV's falling.
Yeah, tanks firing here pretty much untouched at this stage, but now we're starting to press forward with Solar's Roach Ravager army. Tank getting focused down. All the tanks are gone. A Liberator shows up, and look at how small Solar's army is now.
Yeah, Overseer going down. I mean, Kira maybe can pursue this, but Solar does just have reinforcements coming because this is a pretty big commitment here. The Liberator's not in the best position there. There's also the Banshees coming. There is the 1 Queen, though. Should be able to shut that down. That's going to be a close battle, but yeah, we'll actually... Oh, Cloak!
Oh, the Cloak!
But the Overseer's still alive there. Now, I mean, the tank is still here. There's 2 Liberators and stimmed bios, so I'm not sure Solar's going to be able to push in more. He killed 21 SCVs while this was going on. But as for the follow-up, it's just a 4th base and more Roach Ravager.
Yeah, sure looks like it. Tank production continuing here. Marines and Marauders working on more SCVs to replace the ones that got lost. Taking a 4th base in the bottom right-hand corner is Solar. Kind of a weird, unorthodox position, but again, his original 4th got shut down, so can't blame him too much there.
Now, Kira, I mean, he's just building up this bio count. I mean, the Zerg is still scary just by pure numbers alone, as the Solar's coming into the natural here. And he may not give Kira time to get set up. I mean, the Liberators are out of position. One of them re-sieging there. But Kira now just fighting with this. I mean, he's got Medivacs and the bio is stim, so it will stand pretty well versus this Roach Ravager. But this is a lot of Roach Ravager. 2 of the tanks are still there, but we'll see. Kira, Solar corrosive bottling down one of the Liberators, pardon me.
Ooh, big reinforcements coming in here with the Marines and the Marauders. The tanks are in good position to protect both the 3rd and the natural. They're really keeping Solar at bay here. But when it's 174 to 133 supply, Solar going for that 4th base. Cure holding on for dear life. He's only down about 5 SCVs now, though. Yeah,
Cure's at a very healthy bio army as well, by the way. I mean, the bio ball's not so effective in the smaller numbers versus Roaches, but look at it. This is a healthy number of Marines and Marauders with a few Medivacs to support.
And they've got +1/+1.
They do indeed. 2-2 on the way as well, so... Solar getting melee as well and getting his Carapace, so we'll see. I mean, Cure does have to be careful because this is still a scary Zerg army.
It is, but I feel like the longer the game goes on, the worse this Roach Ravager does for Solar. He is getting Banelings mixed in, which is a great choice against this bio. And he's just kind of dancing around the edges here, trying to spread this creep out closer and closer to the Terran base.
I mean, committing to this much Roach and Ravager does sort of make the Zerg exposed, but Solar may eventually be able to transition. We'll see. He's getting up the infestation pit, so he will be exposed to sort of Cure having the better composition for the time being, so he's really just going to want to hold on and buy time for that.
Small attack. Oh, Liberator at the 4th base of Solar down in the bottom right there. An army coming in. Take that thing down too. Interception.
Drop. Cure needs to get that out of there, and he does lift it off.
Totally intercepted. Well played.
Yeah, no, Cure is getting up a 4th CC. Just a small note. It's not like he's building it at the 4th. He's building it right where he's rallying his units, so this 4th CC will not be sniped down or anything like that, which is a small note that I like to see Terran players do.
Yeah, so far so good there. Upgrades continue, and that +2/+2 is a major milestone for Cure. Baneling's on the way, Centrifugal Hooks about 10 seconds away from completing, +2 Carapace and +1 melee attack. Accidental scouting there. Roaches do see the drop coming up towards the north. Small engagement in the bottom right on the creep there, cleaning up a lot of bio there too. Solar is just playing defensively exceptionally well, keeping his bases alive, keeping a Cure from being able to get across the map, and transitioning into those Banelings.
Yeah, I mean, Solar's halfway towards the Hive now. He's getting up a good number of Banelings, and so, I mean, he's maxed out, so he really has nothing else to spend his money on but teching. When Cure maxes out there, that's when he's going to be able to push in, because his army will be better than Solar's for the time. I mean, the Banelings really are the equalizer, depending on the engagement and the amount that Solar has, and he's up to 22, which is no small number, but, I mean, a 2-2 bio push from Terran is still scary.
It is, and Cure's very capable of target firing down those Banelings. Oh, Ling's running in a few at a time. Not what nice to do here, but here comes the rest of the army. A couple Marauders and Marines left behind as a sacrifice, and Cure pulling back again.
Yeah, 3-3 on the way for Cure while this is going on. He's got a good tank count. It may be time for him to move out. He's really getting close towards that max out. The players are equal on supply, and Cure sort of has technically the better upgrades. He's also got +1 on those tanks and just a very scary bio count. And he's actually floating towards the right, so there's not much space between these guys' 4ths.
No, and usually you want to kind of expand away from the Terran, but Solar showing no compunction for doing that. There's an Ultralisk Cavern on the way, and so eventually Cure's going to have to deal with Ultras.
Yeah, Adrenal Glands will also help Solar a ton as these engagements start happening, and because just remaxing on Lings is what he's going to want as opposed to remaxing on more Roaches and Ravagers. He's just basically got these Ravagers because they haven't died yet.
Yeah, hasn't really committed to an engagement. Hasn't really met with Cure's main army, which is what this is right here.
Yeah,
got the tanks.
I mean, he may be about to meet it face on. Good absorbing of those Banelings by Cure. He's now going to kite back. These tanks are actually in a fantastic spot.
Oh, the Banelings did almost nothing there. The Banelings were utterly worthless in that fight. Beautiful target firing. The tanks hitting them, the Marines, the Marauders hitting them.
Yeah, that was just not a good engagement for Solar, pushing down into a concave of Terran. I mean, Corrosive going to land on one of these tanks here, take it out, which is very nice for him. Now the bio's poking forward. Good micro back. Those Marauders eating the Banelings. Not the Marines.
More Banelings getting target fired.
And a drop to the north actually cancels a hatchery. Okay, now Cure's still pushing in. He's kiting back this army. Lots of tanks in position. Solar gonna try and break this, but the Baneling count is quickly thinning out.
Yeah, all we have left is a bunch of Ravagers here, but guess what's in production? Ultralisks are on the way. Chitinous plating almost done too.
A single Ultralisk on the way for starters. As Solar, I mean, he really has gone through his bank just trying to make sure that he'll survive, but, well, there's actually already one Ultra done, so he's gonna have 3 in total, actually, pardon me. But tanks are pretty decent versus Ultras. We'll see.
Yeah, tanks though on the back line doing some pretty good work here.
Yeah, I mean, Cure, the main thing is that this isn't on creep, and he's just able to kite back for days versus this army.
Yep, Ultralisk, target fire down, try to get out of there, couldn't do it, no longer able to tank that damage, only a handful of Ravagers remaining here. But Cure's army not looking that healthy either. 3 attack just finished.
Okay, that's very significant for the Terran. And also Liberators coming in for Cure. Now that he's seen the Liberators, a surround from Solar. This may be his moment, but Cure, once again, he can still just keep kiting back. Liberator going to help out a tremendous deal. He's kiting back, and he's always got a planetary he can fall to. Now, we'll see. I mean, Solar, though, miraculous defense so far.
Yeah, the fact that he's been able to keep this hatchery is dead impressive. Absolutely. Vipers in production for him now. More Banelings coming in here too. He's still not able to establish a 6th base. He really wants to, but hasn't been able to get that hatch up quite yet.
Cure looking to take a 5th base. There is a Roach there to be a nuisance, just to pull his attention out of the way. And there's also Lings waiting to run in there too. But these guys still focusing on this main engagement. Cure with this bio ball, but it's going to get tougher for him as the game goes on. Solar's done a fantastic job holding, and the more time he gets to breathe, he's already investing in these Vipers, getting up another Ultralisk, and so is Army. It's just going to become more and more scary, and Kira's got to deal with this. I mean, he keeps engaging with his bio, and this looks to be another good fight for him as he's doing fantastic splitting of his Army there, but does lose a tank.
Yeah, keeps losing the tanks. They can't dodge those bios. They're great targets for Solar here. Pushing back the creep. Every creep tumor he kills, it seems like 4 more take their place, though. But he does manage to get up to, what is he sitting on now? 5 bases? A 5-base Terran with 3/3 bio is really scary stuff for a Zerg.
Oh, well, for sure it is. I mean, the Army for Solar, while it's very good, it doesn't have that sort of next level thing that just forces the Terran out. Ultras, they're very good, but after all, they are just like a giant Zergling in a sense. They still can die to basically any amount of Marines and bio and a good engagement, but Kira, I mean, he is getting surrounded now. Parasitic Bomb actually going down on a lot of the medivacs, so Solar going to be dealing good damage to that, but he's a little bit disjointed there, and so many Marauders for Kira.
Oh, and doing that 3/3 damage here. The Ravagers stand in, but now
this is where Kira is pushing in. Yeah, this is very good for him. Banelings, Kira just kiting back expertly there, and I mean, if he gets on top of these Ravagers, they sort of are the backbone for Solar's Army, just because they give him something to base his Army off. They buy time with their Corrosive Vials. I mean, Solar's done a fantastic job utilizing his forces, though. Parasitic Bomb, Corrosive Vials going down. A lot of these medivacs are weak.
Banelings trying to morph in, not quite here yet. Zerglings are such a great answer against Marauder tank. I love that Solar's running these in. Another tank goes down to Corrosive Vial. Liberator's showing up. Reinforcements from Cure. He's making 4 Marines and 4 Marauders at a time right now. Medevac, wrong time. Gets picked out of the sky there.
I think Cure does need some more production. I mean, these Vipers are looking to get off another Parasitic Bomb, and that's going to be very tough for these medivacs here.
They're very low. I mean,
when they all pop, Kier's already overstimmed a little bit, and he's still just on that standard 1 production facility, 1 factory or 2 factories, but still just 1 starport. But Kier may have done it. Yeah, that doesn't matter what I was talking about. Solar, I mean, he managed to hold on for so long, but Kier just, the hammer man, just kept pushing in with that bio.
I'm telling you, Roaches and Ravagers are not the answer versus.
Yeah, he lost that game because he made the Roaches.
Yep, and the Ravagers were there, and they were getting some good Corrosive Vials off. They got rid of some tanks. A bunch of Liberators died there too, but in a straight-up face-to-face battle against Bio with 3/3, they just melt. They die so fast. So many Ultralisks died there too. Ooh, what a great game. Cure was on his back foot for the last, what, I want to say 10 minutes of that game, it felt like, and just managed to not die, managed to not lose a base, which was huge, expand as well, and got the win.
Yeah, and suddenly the champion. He's down 0-2. I mean, Solar has won the past 5 of these events. And so, I mean, Kier may be the guy to finally dethrone him.
It's looking very, very likely. Winning 3 games in a row against Cure is not something I would want anybody to try.
Yeah, I mean, but if there's someone who can do it, Solar playing very solid. Maybe it's time that he gets a little bit tricky with his play. Maybe he'll go for some sort of aggression, because he does do very good aggression. He's a very well-rounded Zerg player. Alrighty, but looks like both these guys are ready. Once everyone's in the lobby, we shall be getting on into it.
Ready to go. Yeah, chat sees it coming. They're like, oh, Cure's maxed out. Cure's got equal worker count with the Zerg player now.
Yeah, Solar got pretty close to that stabilizing point, but just by Cure, it was a good job him just continuously pushing in and managing to make that happen. But we'll see. Maybe Solar can hold on. I mean, it's going to be tough, though, as we are loading into Dreamcatcher, which is a Terran-favored map. You can't really spin that any other way. It's pretty good for Terrans.
Yeah, for sure. Those choke points, little narrow areas, tanks can set up on the other edges of those cliffs and just shell you. Very hard for Zerg to deal with. A lot of good stuff here that Cure can make happen to get his 3rd victory in this best of 5.
Alrighty. Okay, but spawning down in the bottom right-hand side of the map, he's taken the first 2 maps. Jin Air Green Wings Cure, and he's actually up to something from the looks of it.
Yes. And in the top left-hand corner, the Blue Zerg player favored coming in, probably, but down 0-2. It is Solar.
All right. Now, looks like it will be this proxy barracks, double barracks at least, as there's 2 SCVs moving out. And I mean, that's the thing about Terrans and their proxy barracks. They don't always do it, so it's tough for Zergs to see it coming. And does Solar see it coming this time? Oh,
yeah, a lot of places to scout, and so easy to miss.
Look at this, though. Solar, pool first.
Ooh, extractor pool from him.
That's what you need versus this.
Oh,
that's just so good game sense.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, Solar, it may take him a while to scout this, but I mean, the situations are weird in which Terran... The situations are very weird in which Terran has the barracks out, but the Zerg doesn't know about it, but the Zerg still has gone for an early pool.
Somehow made it happen.
Yeah, it creates such an odd situation because the Terran's like, well, I need to push in. I'm so committed to this, but then it's like the Zerg's got lings. What do you do? And I mean, Solar, so he's got the tools, but it still is possible. He does need to respond to this very crisply. I like the bunker coming out of Cura already. If he can get that up, I mean, it's just a few lings on the way for Solar so far. There's only going to be one
pull in the
dropping.
drones.
Okay, yeah, but look at this wall for Cura. It's a solid wall. Oh my god, with these bunkers. This is so sick from Cura. I've never seen this before. I didn't even know you could do this on this map.
He needs... How is he doing this? This
Apparently you can do this.
This is like the 3 pylon block back in the day with Protoss against Zerg.
Oh my god, and he's actually going to get an Overlord too from the looks of it. Just,
my
Has Cure done it? I mean, you think that the pool counters it, but no, saving up enough minerals and just saying pop, 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 3 bunkers, Solar forced to cancel on the hatch. And the most important thing is Solar's not able to counterattack.
No, he can't send lings out. He's basically forced to make a Roach Warren right now. There's nothing else he can do. Getting that second gas up, trying to get a couple Ravagers to try to break this thing, and Cure is in the driver's seat right now for sure.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, how's Solar going to be able to react to this? Barracks flying in for Cure as well, just sort of be able to scout. I mean,
is he gonna...
as well.
I'd love if you landed it in the natural and just started making... That would make me so happy. It does look like it's going to scout, though, based on the trajectory. Get some high ground vision.
Yeah, now Solar, is he going for a Spire or a Nidus? It's got to be a Nidus, right? Yeah, definitely a Nidus there.
Yeah, but Cure, like, there are 2 things that can happen here. Roach Ravager and or Roach Ravager Nidus. So, I mean, he really should be prepared for this right now.
Cure also sees this Overlord for Solar.
Base.
So he should know, like, he sees this. He knows it's got to be a Nidus, but Cure, I mean, he doesn't have much back at home. He's got to be able to deal with this. He needs to start shooting this Overlord yesterday. I mean, is he going to push it back? Can he deny the Nidus? Yeah, I think he will. And there's no vision out on the map otherwise for Solar. He's going to have to build it outside Cure's base. Oh, he canceled the Nidus?
Ineffective. Yeah, because the barracks scouted it.
Oh my gosh. So he's just breaking the front.
Yeah.
Okay.
No big deal. And Cure's like, you know what? Fine. We're going to cancel here, get a refund. Going to force you to waste a lot of time trying to deal with this thing.
Oh, loses his Ravager too. Oh, maybe going to lose a second. Oh, good transfuse.
Transfuse! There. Huge transfuse.
Yeah,
ooh,
that's very
get the refund there.
Okay, but Kira still just being so annoying repairing these bunkers here. I mean, there's still the Marines there. Maybe going to try and snipe a Ravager. Oh, they get it.
Got it.
Oh, man.
Got it.
Kira just going to... Oh, that's just rubbing salt in the wound. Solar, he's in a very tough situation. There's no doubt about that.
It's nice that he broke out. Ravager's pushing across the map trying to do something here, but there's a tank in production for Cure. He's got a bunch of Marines. There's a Viking, too, to try to get rid of that scouting. Well, it's an Overseer now. It's been upgraded, but that was the Overlord.
Yeah, the Overseer is a nice touch for Solar because it will be able to secure that high ground vision. It moves quicker. So Solar may be able to put a bit of pressure on here, but there's a tank. There's a good number of Marines. Already eating a tank shot is huge. And yeah, I mean, Solar's double expanding because what else can you do, right?
I mean, the quick third base is very interesting here from Solar. I like what he's doing.
Yeah, but Kira, you know what Kira says? I'm going for a quick third base too.
Huh. So for all the aggression, we're moving into a pretty crazy macro game.
Indeed. Kier definitely is in a better situation this game, though. Churning out tanks. He's also got a tech lab on his starport. Going to be going for a Cloak Banshee.
Did the Overseer scout that?
It did not. It scouted the starport, and I mean, the Viking killed it, so he knows there's a starport, but the Cloak, it did not.
That's pretty important information.
Yeah.
We'll see if Solar throw. I mean, he's got Overseers, so not like Cloak Banshee's going to do a whole ton, but some Spore Crawlers would not be missed.
No, yeah, and I mean, just even having to invest in the Spore Crawlers at this stage, it's so huge, because when you're behind, you're trying to cut as many corners as you can, but then Kier does something like make a Banshee, and Solar has to make a Spore. Viking gonna pick off an Overlord. Ravagers may be able to save it. We'll see.
No,
that's an expensive loss too.
and supply block.
Yeah, wow. This is looking pretty rough. We'll see. I mean, double barracks on the way. I mean, Kier, he's getting up double barracks. He's waiting for Stim before he pushes out, so that'll buy Solar a bit of time. But what's he gonna get up in that time?
I mean, well, okay, so +1 missile attack and +1 ground carry. So looks like we're going more Roach Ravager stuff here, at least in the early game from Solar. But committing to those upgrades really kind of puts you down a very particular tech path. It's really hard to go Ling Baneling when you have +1 missile attack instead of melee attack.
Solar churning out another 10 drones. He's getting up to 58. And I think at this stage, I mean, the Kier push is going to be heading his way soon, so he's just going to have to macro up as long as he can and just pop out as many drones and then hope he can get out enough Roach Ravager in time. I do like the Baneling Nest.
Yeah, absolutely. Needed against a Bioterran like this.
Yeah, I wouldn't honestly mind burrowed Banelings at this point. Solar does kind of need a Hail Mary to come back. What are we seeing? Oh, a double Banshee coming in.
Oh, remember how I said there were Overseers and this didn't matter? Yeah, I lied.
Oh, man. There's actually... Oh, there's one that's going to pop, but still, these two, they can just pop drones left and right.
Oh, my gosh.
12
this is
drones.
Such damage.
And now there's actually nothing... Oh, my God. And both Banshees make it to the third base.
Oh, and the Queens
think Solar's
aren't
just
here.
dead here. Like, 21...
You can't lose 21
God.
drones here. 23!
You just can't do that. And now,
Okay, well now Kier's up 59, 61 to 56 Harvesters, 3 bases to effectively 4 bases, but that economy hit, it cannot be overstated here how bad that was.
what was a questionable hold now just became a pretty much you can't hold this from Solar because he's just had to invest in more drones. Kier's gonna have 1-1. He's up on supply versus a Zerg who's made roaches, and that is never a good sign for a Zerg.
No, so bad. Although Kier's he's being patient here. He's not pushing out. Wait, he's going. He heard me.
Oh, okay.
Like, all right, Falcon.
He says, "You're right. I am being too patient. What am I doing?"
That's everybody going through. Bring the tanks up that right side, as is tradition. Set behind the berm. Assault the third base. These are things we can do.
Alrighty, I mean, Solar, he's done a decent job spreading his creep, but the warning for this... I mean, he from the second that he took the damage, he probably knew that Kier would be planning an attack, but is he going to be able to deal with this? No, GG doesn't even bother.